So it seems like the year of 2023, when it comes to Marvel, they're actually going to have a serious tone in Phase 5, starting with Ant-Man 3, then going into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So at CCXP, they revealed a very serious tone for a movie, which is very uncommon for Marvel. They haven't really done this since Infinity War and since Thanos snapped away. One of Marvel's biggest problems is villains. They don't really seem to have serious tone villains, but with the introduction of Kang the Conqueror and the introduction of the High Evolutionary, it seems that Marvel's biggest issue with villains could be over. So, what is freaking good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture based content that we try to do on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below. It's no mystery. James Gunn has said, prepare for deaths in this movie. There's going to be multiple deaths. There's been plot leaks going back as early as 2019 claiming who will die. And to be fair, most of them leaks based on this trailer alone, because let's be honest, it's not much different to the San Diego Comic-Con trailer or the D23 trailer. I think them plot leaks were spot on to a certain degree. And as we know, yes, according to insiders, they have filmed multiple different scenes of the same scene to try and do misdirect. And that's not the first time that Marvel's done this. So if you could also check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, aka twitter.com/WarstuG. That would be much appreciated. So, James Gunn has said this will be his last movie. Well, it definitely will be for a long while now that he is the head of DC Studios alongside Pete Safran. But the biggest rumor, unofficially confirmed, is the focus seems to be too much on Rocket, because we're going to get to find out Rocket's backstory. We found out in Guardians 1 that he was basically tormented to become a raccoon that could talk. It's a real sad story. And we see a flashback scene of it in this trailer. We also see his love interest, Lila, which looks like she was the reason why he managed to escape. And most likely he would see Lila towards the end of the movie. It's a very cute scene. There are some dramatic tones in this trailer, but they are trying to misdirect you into thinking Star-Lord dies. But it would make the most sense if Star-Lord would be the person to die. And it is also interesting that Mantis is actually related to Star-Lord. Have they put this little plot point in to make you think there's going to be an emotional moment between Mantis and Star-Lord? So I would say Mantis or Star-Lord are more likely to die than Rocket. So we know the High Evolutionary has been introduced. Very good actor. I'm a little bit disappointed by the look. Doesn't look as good or as badass as the comic book variation. Be aware, the High Evolutionary is coming. So James Gunn did say that the actor that he's picked, he worked with him on Peacemaker and decided to make him the High Evolutionary, who is obsessed with the evolutions of different animals and different limbs, hence why Rocket can talk. So it's going to be a very interesting, serious tone. He's coming for some reason. We don't know his motivation. We get our first look at Adam Warlock, played by Will Poulter. Now, realistically, I'm very disappointed because we go back to Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was sent after them years ago in a post-credit scene back in 2017 to go get them. And it's taken him this long. Personally, I think Marvel was taking a huge L because in the comic books, I mean, he has the soul, or he has an Infinity Stone. Well, he's meant to have an Infinity Stone in between his head, which you can see. I mean, sure, there is this ego stone, but is it really going to be a stone? Most likely not. But he was a massive part of the Infinity Saga, aka the Infinity Gauntlet in the comics. And they massively should have played into that part. So for this reason, I think it's just going to be a source of energy or some variant to that. We do see him smashing Nebula. But I think it's quite obvious what's going to happen is this will be the last team that we're going to have with the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Because towards the end of the trailer, it says there always is a need for the Guardians, or some variants that, I spitball this. So spoiler warning, it's not really a spoiler. This is not Gamora, our Gamora. This is one out of a timeline, and she's head of the Avengers. But towards the end of the movie, you see her with the Guardians. So whatever conflict they have, it's going to be resolved by the end of it. And I actually think what's going to happen is Adam Warlock will be the head of the new Guardians team. And obviously Cosmo is in this. Freaking love that dog. If you play the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, that's very good. Cosmo's a pretty cool, pretty big part of that. So I think the new team will somewhat consist of Cosmo and also Adam Warlock. So I do think Rocket will die because it's just the emotional twist. I do think they've put some stingers in the trailer to make you think it's not him. We do see Star-Lord being carried by Nebula, and we do know Nebula will get close to Quill, aka Star-Lord. But then in the same scene, you see Rocket. They're walking through nowhere. He's sipping some water. So will it really be him? I don't know. So there's a big point in this. They need to go back to where everything started. They all met in a prison. In the trailer, I'm spitballing because I don't do notes. Rocket says some variants of, "I'm done running." And this implied that Rocket was ready to meet his creator, aka they're going to have some kind of big battle with Adam Warlock, and then Adam Warlock would side with the Guardians, and I presume the Guardians with Cosmo and with Adam Warlock would take on the High Evolutionary. Now, I don't believe the High Evolutionary or Adam Warlock will be killed off, because what is the point of introducing some huge cosmic entities which should have been introduced a long time ago, but they weren't. So that's my prediction, that Star-Lord will die, maybe, or Mantis. And also, I think it's clear Rocket will die, because in the scene at the end of the movie, okay, now I can't confirm it's a movie, but I'm pretty sure that will be the end of the scene of the movie when they go to the planet that looks like Earth. I say that because you don't see Rocket in this scene, do you? No, you don't see Rocket in the scene. And there is a bunch of pop culture references throughout this movie where they all jump out of a ship. Among Us reference, most likely, because of all the different colors. It's pretty obvious what they're going to do. So that's an overview of the trailer. Like I said, there wasn't really that much that happened in the trailer. It was a pretty sad, serious tone trailer, which is good. The galaxy needs its Guardians. We were gone for quite a while, but whatever happens next, the galaxy still needs the Guardians. And that is why I think Adam Warlock and Cosmo will be in whatever new team it is. Because you've got to remember, pretty much the whole of the Guardians was snapped, except for, I think, I'm spitballing off the top of my head, Rocket and as Nebula, Gamora, or like the new Gamora. One of them, I can't really remember. I'm spitballing, but it's going to be a sad movie, a serious movie, which is what Marvel's needed. Marvel's biggest, Warstu, you're such a Marvel hater. Why do I make Marvel videos if I'm such a Marvel hater? I don't actually prefer Marvel or DC. I get this reputation for being a DC fanboy, but realistically, Marvel needs a serious tone. And with Kang the Conqueror, and with, potentially, the High Evolutionary and Adam Warlock, potentially we're going to be getting the serious tone, which I've quenched for serious tone in a Marvel movie for such a long time. I know what you're going to say, Wakanda forever, but check my review. You know what I think about that movie. It is what it is. So hopefully we will get some serious tones movies with at least Ant-Man 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 next year. I can't say anything about Captain Marvel 2, the Marvels, because part of the movie is a musical. Serious tone is going to go away in that movie, but at least we're getting somewhat roundabout to a serious tone. And then most likely we'll get the introduction of Galactus taking on the Celestials, or it'll have to be some kind of movie based around that. And then Doctor Doom will come, but I've got a funny feeling that Doctor Doom might not even play a big part until Avengers 6. Maybe. So like always, guys, I would try my best to do more videos like this, more kind of trailer breakdown videos like I used to do. I'm just somewhat, I think they're quite generic to do trailer breakdowns and reactions and stuff anymore. That's why I don't tend to do them, but we're going to get back on them now. So hopefully you can show this video some love and support. Subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and I will catch you in another video. But let me know who is going to die if you've made it this far. Let me know if you made it this far, and I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.